Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone young at heart. Welcome to the channel. And yes, finally, today I am building this amazing Brickmania kit, which is the Arado Blitz. As you can see here, this is the box. I'm going to go ahead and unbox it right now, and hopefully then I'll make a review video after I do that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and give it a quick look. Right now it has this plastic thing, so let's go ahead and just take it off so you don't see the reflection. Maybe you'll see my face here. Anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and pop the plastic off. And get straight into the unboxing. And see what we got. Plastic is off. We have this awesome front of the box. Arado AR234C. The back of the box. Nice image of the kit. Let's see what we got here. Just the stats. German jet bomber. Actually, first operational jet bomber in the world. The designer, 847 Lego elements. Skill level 3 out of 5. On this side, just some disclaimers. Pretty normal from Brickmania side. And nothing here. And then we have the set number and the actual kit number, number 19. That's the one I got. Let's go ahead and pop the seal open and get into it. Really excited. I was looking forward to build this kit for a while. Finally, this is happening. All right, I got the sleeve off. It was a tight fit. Finally, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that inside this box. So let's go ahead and give it a closer look. Pop it open. So we have a standard box, which is black. And let's go ahead and see what's inside. So what we do here, we have a manual. Instructions manual. Let's go ahead and give it a quick flip. We got a picture in here as well. Let's move that aside. And what else? Of course, we got the pieces that we're going to be using to build this. Give it a little bit closer zoom. Let's see how that looks. And I'm guessing this is pretty much most of the... This is most of the printed parts right over here. We got the minifigure. Oh, look at that shark mouth. This is the baby Arado probably. This is where it's going to. Balkan Croats. All right, so we got all the pieces. That pretty much covers for the unboxing. Let's go ahead to building and stay tuned for the review coming up. Also, just really quickly, when you open up the instruction manual, you get the sticker sheet inside, and this is what the sticker sheet looks like in case you're interested. So yeah, just want to give it a quick look. So this is probably for the canopy, right? For the windshield. And again, the Balkan cruisers too. So just want to point that out. All right, so just quick update on the build progress. I'm on step 19. So as you can see here, we have the wings and then the fuselage already built. This is the rest of the parts here, but check this out. Can you beat this view? Look at this madness. Look at this, all the snow is coming down. Amazing. Look at this. All right, anyways, yeah. Back to the Lego building. All right, I have finished the build of Brickmania kit Arado AR234C German jet bomber, designed by talented Andrea. He also goes as a Yasta11 on Instagram. So actually, the genius that I am, I actually delete some of the footage. So now I have to re-record a little bit. So if some things look a little bit funky, well, I apologize about that. But anyways, so yeah, but this is a pretty fantastic kit. And yeah, let's not forget about this little guy. This is the Arado E381. So let's go ahead and give it a little bit of a closer look. I'm going to try it, put it closer to the camera so maybe you can see it. Or maybe let's go ahead and try to zoom out. So this is the build itself. I just want to kind of capture some of the angles. It's a bit difficult since it's an aircraft and it has wings and a tail. But as you can see here, the way I'm holding it, this is quite a sturdy build. And I want to give props here to Yasta11 or Andrea, doing a really good job. I mean, there was a lot of cool techniques used in the build, and as you can see here, it's really sturdy, so it's not fragile at all. Even here on the tail section, you can see that if there's a little bit of fragility, then it was reinforced with this additional plates, and I really like when something like that is done. So this is really cool from that point of view. Also, you can see the cockpit. And another comment from my side on the cockpit, let's go a closer look. As you can see here, this is a sticker, so it was a bit challenging to put it on top of the cockpit, but I think the cockpit piece and this Lego piece itself fits really nicely to the build. I think this is really awesome that they decided to go ahead and go with this Lego piece right here. And the screen works really nicely for the shape of the aircraft. While we're kind of going through the aircraft itself, let's go ahead and point out some of the print elements that this kit has. So you do get this Vulcan cross on this side, and this is a bit of a late war, and on this side as well. So those are printed. And then right over here, this is a sticker sheet. So this has been applied as a sticker. So then again, we have a couple pieces that are using sticker here, and then the windshield itself, right? That's the printed elements for the Arado Blitz. Let's go ahead and jump on the printed elements for the Arado E381. And this is a bit of like a parasite glider, if you want to call it that. It had a rocket engine, but we can get into the details a bit later on the history and everything else here. But yes, on the printed elements, we do have a Vulcan crosses also on both sides of the wings. We have Vulcan cross on the side. Again, this is a bit of a late war Vulcan cross. And of course, then, how can you miss this? This is pretty cool. The shark mouth print there as well. So that pretty much takes care of all the printed elements. When I built this kit, I had a couple parts left, so I'm kind of a bit concerned if maybe I missed some of them somewhere in here, but I don't have any issues with the actual sturdiness of the kit, so I don't know what happened here exactly, but do want to mention it. And also not to forget that this kit comes with two separate jet engines, and those are two for a different model of the AR234. So what we have here built is 234C, and this will be then for 234B that used a single Junker Jumo 004 engines. So those are right here too. They come together with a kit, and they are also in instructions how to build them. The idea here is then to somehow then easily replace those two double engines that we have here. This is the double BMW 003 engines with those right here, just to make a different model. But let's go ahead and try it out while we're here. And let me go ahead and give it a little bit of a zoom out. So this is what the aircraft looks like with those two engines in place. Again, those are single engines. And this is the dual BMW engines that I guess the later version had, 234C. Looks pretty cool. And then just something to point out. So you got this armaments here. You got this bigger bomb, which is attached to the bottom of it. And then you got this two smaller ones that are actually attached to this Juno, Junker Juno engines as well. And then this is exactly the same engines that would be used on Mr. Smith ME262. So that's pretty cool. So they did share the engines with ME262 at some point. Let's go ahead and maybe give it a closer look now onto the minifigure itself. So the kit comes with this pretty awesome late war German World War II pilot. Go ahead and take the helmet off. You got this face mask printed on him. See, just this Bicky M. Let's go ahead and give it a 360, see what's behind. Apologize again by the lighting. Not the greatest, but hopefully you can still see something here. You got this cool little pistol holster, and you got this Luftwaffe insignia. I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, this is the minifigure. Also, not to forget to mention, you do have actually another printed part that I haven't mentioned before. This is the printed gauges right over here. So you have this Cheeslow brick. Also, just to quickly mention the manual, let me go ahead and get this out. This is very good. If you're familiar with Brickmania builds, you probably know that the manuals, instruction manuals are really good. Everything is labeled. The steps are there. It's very clearly. It's definitely on par with Lego, if not better. So definitely no complaints here. Don't want to cover it too much. Other than that, there's not really much else I would like to talk about. The build, again, I think is pretty cool. I think it's an awesome design. I hope I didn't miss anything. Again, yes, so talking about missing stuff, then yes, we also have a landing gear in the front and in the back. I'm not going to go ahead and try and retract it or anything like that, but it is there. You are able to open and close the landing gear doors, so that this is just there. Definitely want to go ahead and bring this up. But let's go ahead and maybe talk a little bit about the aircraft history. I'm not the expert in any like World War II German aircrafts and that kind of stuff, so I'm going to try to talk somewhat what I know, or then what I looked up on maybe Wikipedia or somewhere. So basically, this aircraft was developed in the 1940s. There was an idea, a request by Hitler to create some kind of aircraft that was very quickly, so they can have so Germans in World War II can have either bombing runs or reconnaissance done in England, and they wanted kind of something that is either as fast as Mosquito or maybe something faster. So the idea was then to start developing the jet engines and having those incorporated in the aircraft. And this came out to be quite a successful development because, as you can tell, this is the first in production operational jet bomber, or it came to be a jet bomber. Originally, it was built as a reconnaissance aircraft, or at least developed as a reconnaissance aircraft. And it had kind of a few issues in the beginning. So the landing gear was a little bit different setup due to the idea of having this aircraft fly long distances. Pretty much the aircraft fuselage was set up to have a big fuel tank in there, and there was no space to, at least then, to develop the proper landing gear setup. So what they basically opted for is to have some kind of skids. But the problem with those skids, they were not very stable. So that was definitely one of the issues. And on top of that, as you can see here, there's definitely armaments and bombs. I don't know, they're just personally me. I don't know how safe it would be to land in the aircraft with a bunch of bombs on the bottom of it in case, it goes off the rail or, I don't know, falls down. There's just too much of a risk. So I think later on they started developing just the actual landing gear. As you can see here, this is closer to this AR234B model. Again, the original model was 234A with the skids, and it was more of a prototype. But anyways, there was not that many of those AR Arados built, about 200 of them. Unfortunately, since production started late 40s, the actual first flight on this was in 1943. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Again, there was just some issues, technical issues, but on top of that, they couldn't find a really suitable engine. They did use the Junker Jumo engine, as you can see those right here for this 234B model. However, original engines wouldn't really work that well. And on top of that, the German Air Force were prioritizing this Me-262, right? Because this is the jet aircraft that they were kind of building the most. However, this was the faster one. This actually was the fastest aircraft, jet-powered aircraft that Germany had at the time. I think the speeds came close to about 600 kilometers per hour, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, later down the war, they did opt it out to the double BMW 003 engine instead of the Junker Jumo 004 engines, because both engines had some development issues. As you probably know, that the Germany was running low on the fuel and different kind of other materials, so the engines were in the first place not reliable, as they would require maintenance probably about after like 10 hours of flight, and sometimes they were required to be replaced after a while. However, then this Arado 234B model is the most produced model, with the setup as you can see here, with those two single engines. And I think about 200 of them were built of this model. Then they start developing the prototype or pre-production for this 234C model, which that model is pretty cool, because then that one, I think they added, in addition to being a jet bomber, they also added the machine guns in the front. So that one, I think, had machine guns, and that's the one you actually see in the War Thunder, right? If you heard about that game, which is a pretty popular game, it's in there, and they are using then the dual BMW engines in there. So that's something to mention. Also, this 234B model, as you can see here, just a kind of notable mentions, it was used to destroy Enderdorf Bridge, I think, or something like that in Germany, just to cut off the Allies. So they actually, this aircraft, although it's a Wunderwaffe, it did see some operational usage, and it did see some combat, although not a whole lot. So there were actually some Allied planes that did end up encountering this aircraft, although this was very rarely. There was actually one that was shot down, apparently. Then at least this is what I heard on one of the YouTube videos that I watched about this. But nonetheless, it's pretty cool. And now, anyways, most of them at the end of the war were either somehow then captured, destroyed. Most of them were bombed by the Allied aircrafts, as then they were, Germany was dealing with lack of fuel, so they were just kind of grounded to the airfields, and that's pretty much was the fate of them. But there's actually one that's left right now. Maybe I'll put a picture. This is one surviving aircraft. It's actually located in the Chantee, Virginia, and it's part of the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum. So if you are in the United States, you probably can go ahead and check out the museum, and you can even see the Arado 234B for yourself. All right, and maybe a couple more words on the Parasite glider. So this was also developed as Wunderwaffe. However, this never seen the actual combat. It was never used. The idea here, you have a rocket engine, you have a person kind of laying prone with a machine gun, and it would attach to the bottom of Arado. And this is something actually you can do with this model. You do have a little part here, so you can actually clip this to the bottom and have Arado attached and kind of sitting in this position when the glider is behind. And the thing would just kind of do its mission and glide back to the ground, and that was that. All right, so what are my final thoughts? Let's go ahead and get into that, I guess. So I'm really happy about this build. What can I say? Again, the designer did an awesome job. It's very sturdy, it's very accurate. I'm really happy how this canopy came out. It's definitely one of my favorite things here. And I like how you have different options here as well. You do have an option of the C model or B model that you can switch back and forth. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, this is the parachutes. This is not the bombs, in case you were wondering. And what else can I say? I'm definitely really happy on other things that the Brickmania decided to do this Wunderwaffe line. I thought that was really original, really cool. And it's awesome that they incorporated all these cool designers that are outside the Brickmania company itself, but around the world. I mean, whoever come up with that decision to do this, to bring all this awesome Lego and I guess military designers, definitely deserve some kind of raise, maybe in the Brickmania headquarters. But really awesome job on that for bringing all these talented people here, and then they are able to come up with this amazing builds and kits like this. So I'm really happy about this. The price point wasn't, I think, too bad. Again, it's quite a compact build, quite nice. I think it was close to 400 something dollars or euros, and I think it's worth all of it because you do get all this kind of playability. You get this extra stuff with it, engines, Parasite, printing elements. I mean, overall, it's just pretty awesome. I mean, I just don't have anything negative or bad to say about it or critique it. It's just awesome all over the place. It's nice, accurate, sturdy, and I would highly recommend it. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this unboxing and somewhat a review, historical review. Again, I'm not an expert on this, so don't quote me on everything that I said. At least then, this is the stuff that I read really quick. Thank you very much. I appreciate you watching this. Please go ahead and leave a like or dislike. Well, YouTube disabled dislike buttons. You can't really do that. So yeah, please go ahead and put a like. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. There's more cool videos to come. And yeah, thank you, and see you soon again. Bye.